Next to me is the Audi Q8, Audi's all-new flagship SUV. It offers a stylish, sleeker, sexier alternative to the more traditional Audi Q7. Now, Audi's got its sights set on the likes of the BMW X6 as well as the Mercedes GLE Coupe. Does the new Q8 have what it takes to be competitive in this crazy new segment? Let's find out. Special thanks to Rusnak, Westlake, Audi for making this video possible. I've got a link in the description below to this exact vehicle if you're interested in purchasing a Q8. They've also got an amazing inventory as well. On the outside, the Q8 is striking. It really is a good-looking SUV. It shares the same MLB Evo platform that the Cayenne does, as well as the Lamborghini Urus and the Bentley Bentayga, meaning it is built on strong roots. It also happens to be one of the best looking of the group. One of the Q8's most distinguishable features is this enormous octagonal front grille. It looks incredibly aggressive and imposing and luxurious all at the same time. It's lower and wider than the Q7 and looks better in just about every single way. One of the coolest elements of the Q8 has to do with its headlights. These are the upgraded HD Matrix headlights, and they have a couple of very interesting party tricks. For one, when you unlock the car, they go in this sequence back and forth like a little dance, welcoming you to your vehicle. Two, they swivel with your steering wheel. So if you're driving around the canyons at nighttime, you turn the wheel to the left, the headlights will as well to help illuminate around the bend. But the coolest thing is how the headlights interact with other cars and people on the road. We've actually got a camera on the windshield that communicates with the headlights themselves. All of the individual little LEDs in the headlights can independently turn off from one another. So the camera on the windscreen creates this sort of mask to track oncoming vehicles, and it turns out the associated LEDs so it doesn't blind them. It also works if a car is right in front of you in the same lane. It effectively splits the light around the vehicle. The only unfortunate part is in the US currently, this technology is not allowed to be used. So we've got it all here. We're just waiting for legislation to change and a free trip to your Audi dealership, and you will have all of that and more. Now, unlike the Q7, the Q8 comes with only one engine option. Beneath the hood is a 3-liter twin-scroll single turbocharged V6, making 335 horsepower and 369 pound-feet of torque. It's mated to a ZF 8-speed automatic transmission. The ZF is taking over everywhere, but it is a brilliant unit, and it's capable of doing 0 to 60 miles an hour in just 5.6 seconds. The Q8 is also capable of towing up to 7,700 pounds. Although looking into the engine bay, there's actually a shocking amount of space all around that they could perhaps fit a bigger engine in. So could you imagine this with the motor from the Cayenne Turbo S? That would be awesome. For $2,400, you can opt for the adaptive chassis package. This gives the Q8 air suspension with adjustable ride height of up to 3.5 inches. In its tallest setting, it actually provides 10 inches of ground clearance. Another benefit to the air suspension, apart from increased ride quality, is the fact that you can actually individually lower the rear of the Q8 in order to make it easier for you to load stuff into the back. With the adaptive chassis package also comes the availability of rear wheel steering. That's right, we can have all-wheel steering on an SUV. That means when you're driving at slow speeds, the rear wheels can turn up to 5 degrees in the opposite direction of the fronts to make maneuverability much, much easier. It effectively shortens the wheelbase. Now, when you're driving at higher speeds, the rear wheels can turn up to 2 degrees in the same direction of the fronts, increasing the stability of the vehicle. Coming around to the side of the Q8, and you can see just how sloped the rear portion of the vehicle truly is. Audi wanted to create this practical SUV with looks and style that are reminiscent of a coupe, but they've done so in such a terrific way where it actually looks really good. The same cannot be said for some of its competitors. Now, you'll notice these wheels are quite large. That's because the Q8 can come with either 20-inch, 21-inch, or 22-inch wheels. This car has the Year 1 package, which comes with these beautiful 5V-spoke 22-inch wheels. Honestly, the best option by far. It also comes with blacked out window trim, blacked out roof rails, and S-line front and rear bumpers. You'll also notice the doors of the Q8 are quite long, which means when you open them up all the way, it is exceptionally easy to climb inside the back. Before we hop into the front of the Q8, let's check out the back. Now, unlike the Q7 that has 3 rows of seats, we have a similar sized vehicle with now 2 rows of seats, which means it is incredibly spacious in the rear of the Q8. In terms of legroom, I'm 5'11", and I've got nearly a foot of space between my knees and the passenger seat in front of me. In terms of headroom, plenty of headroom. The fact that it's able to look this good styling-wise with that sloped rear deck but not give up necessary headroom is really, really impressive. Now we got 4-zone climate control, so we have these touchscreens back here for controlling that, the airflow as well as the temperature. Due to the cold weather package, there are even heated seats in the rear. The seats themselves also have 2 levels of adjustability. If you want more space in the rear for cargo, you can adjust the seat forward to give them more space. You can also pull a lever on the side to recline or incline the seats if you like. Additionally, there's a 12-volt outlet for powering electronics and 2 USB ports so you can charge your phones in the rear of the Q8. Honestly, very comfortable back here. Tons of shoulder room. You could do a long road trip in the Q8, no problem. Because this is an Audi, we also have fancy electronic sunshades. Look at that. The rear of the Q8 is really where it shines ahead of its competitors. Instead of looking awkward and bulbous, it's sleek. They absolutely nailed this coupe SUV styling. We've got these gorgeous rear LED taillights with a light bar that expands all the way across when you hit the brakes. This all illuminates. We've also got turning indicators that swoop in a sequential pattern, and at nighttime this actually does a light show when you leave and lock the car, but during the daytime, for some reason it doesn't want to do that. Now, the only real complaint I have with the rear of the Q8 is the fact that these exhaust tips are completely fake. Let's go ahead and raise the rear hatch to reveal a very, very spacious cargo area. With the rear seats in their upright position, so you could carry 5 people comfortably, we've got 30.5 cubic feet of storage back here. Now with the seats folded forward, we actually get 60.7 cubic feet of storage, which is 3 more than a BMW X6 and 4 cubic feet more than a Range Rover Sport SE. We also have these cool little LED light bars here to illuminate the interior cabin when you're trying to load stuff in. Also some nice Alcantara accents that come back into the rear part of the cabin. Notice if we did have the air suspension, we would be able to click a button to lower the rear a bit to make it easier to place objects inside. The real magic really happens, however, in the front 2 seats of the Audi Q8. It's draped in sumptuous leather, the fit and finish, the material choices, everything just feels top quality, and the design language is absolutely brilliant. Let's start off with this steering wheel section. The steering wheel feels great in your hands, has paddles mounted behind it in case you want to shift gears, although unlikely on an SUV of this stature. But behind it, we have a standard feature, Audi's 12.3-inch virtual cockpit. What's so cool about that? Well, the graphics are phenomenal and allow you to do some pretty cool things that I find to be really helpful while driving. With Audi's virtual cockpit, we now have all of the essential controls located right in the center screen, so you can still keep your eyes on the road. If you want to change the music, that can be brought up in a large screen in the center. Now, my favorite thing is the turn-by-turn navigation screen that effectively takes up the entire width of your speedo and tachometer, just leaving you small little circles for your actual speed and gear, but it allows you to really tell where you're going. Now, this section is my favorite part of the Q8's interior. This gorgeous piano black gloss trim piece across the entire dash just screams class and luxury. And beneath it, we have this lovely wood where you can actually feel the grain of the wood itself. I love that about it. But what's really cool is the screen is actually flush with this piano black trim, so much so that if you turn the screen off, it almost completely disappears. The top screen gives you control of your vehicle settings as well as media and navigation. It has beautiful colors. It's also touchscreen as well. But my favorite part about the touchscreen capability is it has haptic and audible feedback, meaning when you actually click on the button, you get this really soothing vibration back against your finger, letting you know that you've actually touched something. Especially if you're driving down the road, you're trying to click a button on your touchscreen, there's no way to actually know that you've actually successfully done that. Well, with haptic feedback, there is. One thing I found really cool about the lower screen is if you actually touch the seat icon that's located there. It brings it up to the upper screen where you get a ton of controls for the front seats. You can change the lumbar support as well as the side bolsterings, but if you swipe over, you can also control the massage features from stretch, pulse, relaxation, shoulder massage, activation, and revitalization. You can even change the intensity level of the massage as well. You can even choose where you want the seats to be heated. Do you want the back and the lower portion of the seat heated simultaneously, or do you just want the back, or maybe just your butt? Pretty cool. Another button I quite like in the Q8 is the driver assistance button. It's one of the few hard keys in this array of touch screens that you can click. It looks like a car with a little circle around it. And when you do that, you can actually custom tailor the amount of driver aids you would like to intervene. Oftentimes, safety assist technologies can get a little bit annoying. Some of them more so than others, depending upon their calibration. Sometimes a certain car's lane keep assist doesn't work quite as well as we would like, but we do enjoy the automated braking system. Well, you can pick and choose what systems you want to be enacted with the click of a button and go to individual and custom tailor it to your liking. Yes, I would like intersection assist, side assist, emergency assist, but I don't need exit warnings. Another feature I love in the car's infotainment screen is the parking assist cameras. So we've got your conventional cameras, there's a front view, and sometimes you get an aerial view in higher end cars, but check this out. If we slide this, it reveals a plethora of different options. That's a narrow view, then there's a wide view front, there's a side view, a rear view. Look at all of the different options we have, but my favorite is this 3D 360-degree view that is touchscreen, where you can actually rotate your Q8 in a live environment. This is exactly like what it looks like on the outside. I've got a tree right next to me here to see where objects are so you don't run into them. That is just way cool. Not only is this helpful for parking lots, but if you take your Q8 off-roading, it could be helpful in that scenario as well. We've got our drive select buttons located here. Check out how cool the navigation setup is in the Q8. So we have this massive display here, as well as in our virtual cockpit, easy to see. But if we want to enter a destination, go ahead and click search, and below that drops a keypad. So we can either type it in using a typical keypad or actually draw it in. What happens if we type Audi with my terrible handwriting? A-U-D-I. There we go, and we can get the directions right back to the dealership. So what is the all-new Q8 actually like to drive? Well, it's lovely. It's incredibly isolated from the exterior environment. The acoustic glass, the sound deadening used, makes you feel like you're in your own serene little world when you're driving in your Q8. Steering is nice and light when you're in comfort mode. It's a very easy car to drive, tons of frontal visibility. There's actually great visibility from all angles around the vehicle. It doesn't actually feel overly big as well. Proportions-wise, it is a larger SUV, but it's not intimidating to drive or overbearing. You don't feel like you're dominating and terrorizing the road in a way that might off-put certain buyers. Now, we are in some really twisty sections of road here. That's where that adaptive chassis package will be advantageous, having that rear wheel steering, but it does just fine for an SUV. Now, this isn't the fastest SUV in the world, and it doesn't claim to be, but it does offer an unbelievable array of luxury, technology, and stylistic features that make the Q8 an awesome buy for the money. The Q8 comes in 3 different trim levels. The base model trim, which comes with 20-inch wheels as well as a panoramic sunroof, that starts at $67,400. For a $4,000 upgrade, you can get the Premium Plus trim level that gives you 21-inch wheels. It also gives you a Bang & Olufsen sound system, which sounds absolutely incredible and is a must-do option in my opinion. It also gives you 4-zone climate control and a 360-degree camera like the one we just saw. Then you bump up $5,000 on top of that for the Prestige trim level. You get those HD Matrix headlights as well as a heads-up display. You get some driver assist features as well as this beautiful contrasted stitched dash. We are driving the Prestige edition. The price of this exact vehicle is just a tad over $88,000. We've got a multitude of driving modes that can be activated using a touch panel just beneath the lower screen. Go ahead and click that. We are in automatic mode right now. The Audi is choosing for me what it thinks the best setup for the steering and the suspension and throttle response. Let's go ahead and put it into dynamic mode. Steering got a little bit heavier there, better throttle response. Let's go ahead and put the paddles into manual. It's actually pretty quick. It does have a decent amount of body roll. It's not a canyon carver, but if you're looking for something with a lot more performance, wait for the SQ8. But absolutely does the job. Paddle response is pretty instant, especially for a conventional automatic. All right, let's go ahead and put it back into comfort mode, shall we? You can also do individual mode, and there is an off-road mode for the rare few who decide to off-road their Q8s as well. It is capable off-road, however, so I highly recommend, if you have any curiosity in doing so, take the leap. I love this beautiful gray Alcantara headliner. It provides a nice contrast from the rest of the black interior. Now, originally I thought, all right, a black exterior, black interior, that might be a tad bit boring, but the different material choices they use, we've got little bits of silver and wood throughout the interior, make it anything but boring. It looks unbelievably classy in here. What is amazing is you are getting the same platform as the Bentley Bentayga, the Cayenne, and the Urus at a much cheaper price point. I think with looks that are exceptional. This really is a gorgeous looking car. And with incredibly good looks, Audi has done a fantastic job with placing the Q8 into the market. We got a really interesting center console inside of the Audi Q8. It actually is on this rocker that allows you to change the position of the center console to make it easier for you to rest your elbow. Then you pull on the lever hard enough and lift up, and as we can see, it reveals a wireless charging station for your phone as well as 2 USB ports. Not only is the Q8 lovely to drive, it also has a plethora of safety features as well. We have this technology called Presense 360 that uses 24 different cameras and sensors in order to scan the road around the Audi to make sure it can identify any objects that might either cause damage to the vehicle or vice versa, you cause damage to them, to alert you of pedestrians and cars in the area to keep you as safe as possible. It also has adaptive lane keep assist. If you're driving on the highway, you simply click this button on the left stalk here. It maintains the speed of the flow of traffic. You can speed up, slow down without having to hit the brakes or the gas. The car does so itself, and it maintains you in the lines all at the same time. In today's day and age in Los Angeles, any technology that can take even the slightest edge off of the brutal bumper-to-bumper traffic, and this adaptive lane keep assist can do just that and more, is a very, very welcomed feature. I think what I like most about the Q8 is how simple yet beautiful and functional the interior is all together at one time. These 3 screens work together in harmony so well, and they're very easy to use. And instead of a lot of touch screens where you don't actually know what you're touching, that haptic feedback and audible feedback allows you to know that you've actually clicked a button. Super easy controls, and the fact that the voice gestures and actually drawing on the screen actually worked and aren't just a gimmick is a welcomed addition. And of course, the exterior of the Q8 is drop dead gorgeous. Finally, an auto manufacturer was able to get an SUV with coupe body styling correct. They didn't do it right with the X6. The GLE was a little closer, but the Q8, they knocked it out of the park with its design language. With that, the Q8 is everything you could need in a daily drivable SUV. All-wheel drive is standard, so it's practical. It's got tons of room in the back. It's spacious for rear seat passengers. It's stylish. It's quick enough. Tons of technology, lots of safety features, and it's beautiful inside and out. And with that, I very much like the Audi Q8. Once again, special thanks to Rusnak Westlake Audi for providing this car for review. I've got a link in the description below to this car if you are interested in purchasing it. If not, they've got an awesome inventory as well. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like always, please browse the channel and subscribe. I look forward to seeing you next video.